thanks for staying with us. So, a few months ago, we were discussing the importance of the local government, especially now that their resources or their budget is supposed to be coming directly from the source through the Supreme Court's judgment. And in the coming weeks and in the coming days, we'll be having the local government elections very soon. And one of the important things is to help Nigerians understand the importance, because they are the closest to the people. And if Nigerians begin to hold them accountable for the work they're expected to do, hopefully issues like drainages, clearing of the roads, fixing roads, making sure that there's smooth traffic in the local government would ease. So today, our guest is the incumbent chairman of Isolo local government, and he has been making waves in his domain, and has focused a bit on youth empowerment, infrastructure development, and has done quite a few. Today, he's asking for a re-election in the next coming elections. I will be discussing with him why exactly should we vote for you, especially because Nigerians are still demanding good governance from top to bottom. Welcome with us, Otumba Kehinde Almaroof. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
This is not so. I mean, the elections are coming up, and recently Nigerians have been encouraged to be able to hold local government chairman accountable, because a lot of you are going to be getting money. I don't know how much what your budget is now, but before we even go to the future, let's start with what did you even do in this previous few years where you've held the helms of affairs. What exactly have you done, and why do people should even consider bringing you back?
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me once again. I think in the last 4 years, let me say my set has been, given enough financial capability by the federal government because of the increase in FAC allocations. So let me thank Mr. President for that. And in the last 4 years, concerning road, we declared emergency on road. We have done about 63 roads, which is unprecedented in the history of Isolo local government. We have provided like 65 boreholes. We have constructed new buildings, which are school buildings. We changed the narrative from old designs and all that to 2- 3-story buildings that befit a school I can send my son or daughter. Then we have empowered over 10,000 youths through the UNDP programs. We do partner with private organizations too. And we have free school ride for our kids. And with all this and many more, it's because of the increase in FAC allocations. And like you rightly said, by the time the autonomy come in full effect, I believe we are going to quadruple what we have done this time. So with all these things, I believe the people out there, they are waiting for us, they are rooting for us, and we have made ourselves an asset to the party and to the nation, not a liability. So you'll be seeing increased votes from Isolo local government without any vote apathy.
So, okay.
Go on.
Okay. One of the biggest issues that many Nigerians have, which fosters a spirit of distrust in the minds of many, is accountability. Yeah. So to what extent would you say, or how would you say that you have demonstrated or ensured accountability in resource management as well as project execution during your term?
Yeah, before we do anything, it has to go through the ESCO. We discuss it with the ESCO. Anything above the threshold of 35 million has to go through the His Excellency, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, which has been marvelous too. He always gives Isolo accelerated approvals, and there are bodies from the state that come in to do all these checks. Even the our legislative arm of government, they do oversight, and intermittently we do go to the State Assembly to check our books, and we have external auditors and all that. So I'll say we're on the right track in Lagos State, and there are checks and balances. So we've been upright in dealing with our funds in Isolo local government and Lagos as a whole.
Okay, so I would talk from what I see. So whenever I drive around Oshodi Solo, I see roads, I see work. But, you know, I always wonder how the primary healthcare centers work for the people, because we still have some of these prevalent problems of free drug. It is declared that each primary healthcare center, but you see people who go in and come out complain that they had to pay for drugs. Oshodi Solo, roads and infrastructure, especially particularly roads, is not something I would criticize you for. But I would ask, you know, I would like you to, you know, to explain how you run the primary healthcare centers.
Okay.
Also, there's supposed to be independence of each local government now and financial autonomy for each local government. And you just mentioned the governor's input on the 35 million.
Anything above 35 million.
So I'm wondering, are you people truly as independent as the Supreme Court has guaranteed for you? Or you are like, or your people, you don't want it?
No,
those ones, they say they hand over their own.
No, basically, if you look at Lagos, I think there's autonomy to some extent, and it's for checks and balances. But if the full autonomy come in place, and I believe if we see things that we need to do, we don't need to go through the state governor. That can be done in no time, like speed. You know, you have to wait for like 2-3 months sometimes to get your approvals, and you have the timeline of 4 years, you know, to execute this project. So if you have a proposal, it has to have a timeline. Let's say max 3 weeks, then the contractors can move to site. But with the autonomy, we believe things can get better. And
so it's not in effect yet in Lagos, 100%? What does that mean?
I won't say it's 100% in effect when it comes to, you know, taking approvals and all that.
Okay.
But monetarily, financially, we do get our, you know.
So the healthcare center should...
So about the healthcare center, we have, we provide money monthly to the health care, to the PSCs that we have in Oshodi. And people can come in and, you know, have drugs, even staffs, people outside there. If you can, you know, send in somebody to one of our PSCs. But I won't say it is perfect, but there are rooms for, you know, improvement. When I came in, the state of the, you know, PSCs, I don't like. So we have decided that, okay, we are going to take it one by one. We renovated like 2, and we started the reconstruction of another one, which is Ogulano Health Center. It's going to be like 3-story building, and it's going to have lift and all that, and it's going to have, you know, a child care center, whereby...
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. You see, most of these healthcare centers, I like that we will need to upgrade them, you know, infrastructure-wise, make them more beautiful, more appealing, because public general hospitals in some other places, you don't even know that, you think they're privately owned.
Yeah.
But within the system we already have, there's a problem. There's massive corruption within our primary healthcare centers and general hospitals as we speak, particularly from drugs to, you know, things that patients have to pay for or buy. What are you doing to check them? That's the most, for me, the most important is to make sure that if you say a drug is free, the pharmacist in the hospital will not tell them it's not available and then direct them to a shop down 3 buildings away from there to go and buy it.
I don't know. Let me talk about Oshodi as a case study. Things like that, we do check them. Sometimes I do send people, you are sick, go to the PSC.
So how many doctors have you punished? Which of your personnel have you had to serve?
I've not even had a case whereby they go there and they tell me, because they know I'm very strict and I'm always on the road, I check people every time. I don't just, you know, give out assignments and leave it like that. So I want to talk about Oshodi. Things like that are not happening. I don't know about other local government.
I think somebody from YouTube, or Notcher is saying that, Moses Ade is saying that, please tell him the healthcare center in Ajibulu needs renovation. So you just mentioned that, and there's another question from another person, but I'd like to pick the words on the street like I know. In Oshodi local government, you already mentioned that you're an asset to the party and not a liability. Yeah. So being an asset to the party, do you feel that it guarantees you a second term in office? And again, we've seen so many godfatherism factors. Are you aligning with your godfather? Are you planning to stand alone? Because we know predominantly that there is the Msioluomo factor in Oshodi. So what would you have to say to this?
Well, he's part of the system. the person of MC Oluomo is a stakeholder. And in politics, you know, you invite people, the more the merrier. So independently, I think we have won the hearts of people on the street. Elections in the past, when we do campaigns and all that, it is abuse here and there. But now they tell us you don't need to campaign. You don't need to campaign, just tell us the date. We are here for you. It is as a result of the increase in allocation from the federal government. If any local government in Lagos State is not performing, the people of that local government should hold the chairman accountable.
Okay.
Because I can tell you authoritatively that we have enough funds.
Okay, let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We still have our guest with us, Mr. Kehinde Almaroof. I'd like to go into the future because it's about what do you see for the people of Oshodi? Because, I mean, year in, year out, we have politicians come on the table and tell us the same thing. We'll do borehole, we'll do healthcare, we'll do education, we'll do this. And we are sick and tired of the same old rhetoric. We just want somebody who can paint a picture for us. Somebody who says, okay, this is what I see in Oshodi. I see this, I see maybe the 10 hospitals here, I see training. I mean, just something that a young person can listen to and say, okay, this person is a leader. This person has ideas. This person wants to build 10 apartments, 20 floors. I mean, I don't know, something that just gives us an idea that what you're thinking for the future.
Yeah, I'll say we need to improve. I'll go back to roads again. Because if you look at Oshodi, all we have is commerce, which is the markets and transportation.
Okay.
So we paid more attention on the enclave where we have all the markets and all that. You know, that will improve. There is no place in Oshodi that you apply that is not interlocked. So people, the business are booming.
Okay.
It is bringing in more people. But in the near future, we are looking at, you know, upgrading most of our PSAs. We had an incident some time ago, I think about 2 years ago. There was a referral from Oshodi to Isolo from a patient. But before he got there, the guy gave up, you know. So we are thinking we need something in Oshodi for ourselves that will be, you know, standard of, yes, so that they don't need to, you know, push our people around. So,
all right, so one of your people, one of your people is particularly asking that when is Bisam Road linking to the airport, when is it going to be open? When
okay, that's the road I was telling you of.
During the break.
Abolaji link, we are like 95% done. So we are going to connect Abolaji link to Bisam. So in the nearest future, people in Oshodi won't have to pay tolls because I do pay tolls and I'm like, yes, I do pay tolls as the chairman, and I'm like, you can't be collecting 500 from, you know, if I can pay 500, people that can't afford that. If you take your child to school, maybe it's in the Kehinde or Ajawa State, you pay 500. So we are going to link that road up to Ajibulu. So even if you are going to Ajawa State, you just bust out at Ajibulu, then turn back under the bridge. So those are the things we are doing.
Okay, before I come to you, Chika, I have Banjoko from Oshodi. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I would like to commend the moderator for inviting our local government chairman. It's a very good gesture. Yeah, we need to commend our chairman. He's performing wonderfully well. It touches every aspect of the 4 cardinal points being given us by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, which is health, education, road, and food. In fact, we, the masses in Oshodi, we are very pleased with his government, and we need to commend him. Kudos to him.
But where's the but?
I thought it was good.
I thought it was coming.
When they called the one side, they must have paid you to
person
come.
is a politician.
It sounds like a
That
politician.
person is a word representative.
What is it? Please, I beg you. If that one.
You see, my question borders on continuity and sustainability. Because just to highlight, somebody on the comments also said, oh, that some of the school buses only worked for a month. But beyond this, it's not just about having, you know, laudable projects and good ideas that you have implemented now, but what sustainable measures have you put in place such that whether or not you even come into power, that these projects, these ideas are sustainable for the foreseeable future? What mechanisms have you put in place to ensure continuity?
We created a body after the construction of road and all that, that's like a maintenance body. And we remove like 2% every month out of our allocation and IGR into a coffer, so that if there's, even if you build this TVC house, tomorrow, next year, there will be defects. So you need to, improve and maintain the road. So there are, groups like that, bodies like that we have put together. And talking about the future, I always think about that too, that what I've started when I'm out of office, would they be continued and that, but we leave that to God.
I have a final caller, Oluwaseun from Oshodi. Thanks for calling, you're live.
I hope it's not one of these people.
Hello.
It's actually my first time getting to
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I just want to commend the strength and the administration of our boss, Otumba Kehinde Almaroof. We live in Oshodi Agric, in Shogule Agric, so it is no more news to us. What we are hearing now is something we are aware of before. He's a very good man, his tenacity, everything. The work, we are saying it, especially the road. Even to the one he has done in Shogule, Olori Street, everything, we are saying it. So God bless you, and we hope in God's strength that this election is better.
Thank you, Mr. Oluwaseun.
It's okay. You
know how these people have any criticism?
Yes, somebody says Oshodi is choked.
Oh, no, of course it is. It's a highly populated local government. That person does not know that.
Somebody wants to.
Please, I want to ask.
It's shocking that is so choked. Okay. Which is like kind of...
It's a settlement. Settlement. Somebody is saying that you should please tell us your primary and secondary school.
Yeah, I went to Methodist Primary School, and I went to Ikene. In politics, I read something, I think about 2 weeks ago, about Ashwaju on age and all that, and in the past about Buhari. If you are doing the needful, you are doing the right thing. People that know that you have, gone away from the norms, change the narratives, they will like to pull you down and all that. So we are focused on the future and on the goal ahead. So we are not distracted by all those things.
Quickly.
Your classes recommended.
So since they
are recommended, I can't read without them.
A lot of praises on you for you on YouTube. So let's just find the ones that we need balance on. Akinyemi Shuaib says, well done on the healthcare centers, but that there's need for more doctors. Also, the betterment is criticizing the free ride. And all of you in all the local governments have that free school bus, free meals. So how have you sustained?
You have just 30 seconds.
Also, the betterment, let me say, we know them very well. They are a political body. When you defeat somebody at the primaries with 25-0, there's need for them. They are still paying.
The bus is working.
It is working. I can invite you to Oshodi and see all these things.
I will come on my own.
And those guys are still part of
unannounced.
They are still Nigerians, and they also need governance. So
after you have defeated them, you still have to.
Yeah, we bring them on board. Let them bring them on board and share ideas, not politics or pull them down.
That is all we can take on this segment. We wish you the best and your elections.
Thank you.
That is all we can take on this segment. When we come back, move on to another segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.